Znajdujemy się na Katowice i pomiędzy meczami dołączyła do nas sjokz, czyli prezenterka głównie znana z League of Legends, ale od pewnego czasu pojawiająca się też na transmisjach z innych gier. Hello sjokz, nice to have you here.
Hello, dzień dobry.
How do you rate your stay here so far?
It's great. It's been like 4 years or something since I've been in Katowice, so it's really nice to be back because it's always one of these events that you want to be at, I think. It's like a really prestigious event in the calendar, and we don't get to come to Poland very often with League of Legends, so it's fun.
Yes, we are on the CSGO tournament. Let's, of course, talk about League of Legends. I wanted to ask, what do you think about the current LEC split and the new format?
I love the new format. Of course, I can't see how the first best of threes are going to go because I'm here, but that's totally fine. I think we really needed a change because 9 weeks of best of ones, it's kind of boring, isn't it? And we always run into the trouble from a content creation perspective, from the production, that like in the weeks in the middle, it's sometimes really hard to tell about the stories of these teams, because if they're not doing well, you don't want to say for the 20th time that they suck or something like that. So now hopefully we can tell the stories in a very interesting way and they can be updated every time we get into a new stage, and it will be better for the level of our teams if they get to play best of threes and best of fives more, hopefully.
Yeah, and especially in the second week of the LEC, we could have seen a lot of upsets. What do you think is the reason that this split is so competitive?
Oh, that's a really good question because I really don't know. I think maybe we had not the wrong expectations, but we kind of just assumed that, Koi is going to be great because they won last time, but maybe their top lane change was much more important than we thought it was. Of course, it's going to be important because Odawamne is a crazy good player, but the rest of them are also really good. So I don't really know. I think maybe it's a super week every week, right? So they had 3 games to prepare for. Maybe that was harder. I don't know, but it's really interesting, and for us it's great, I think. Like new storylines, new players doing well, like you got Heretics, you got Jack Spectra. I think the new blood coming into the league doing well is always fun for us, so yeah, we'll see. But again, even if a team like doesn't do well now, like Fnatic, which is crazy, it's crazy, they have the next split, and then the one after that. So no panic yet, but a little bit, yeah.
Which team impressed you the most so far?
In the LEC so far? Oh, Vitality. Yeah, I think Vitality is great, and it's also so interesting because Vitality always had like this super team aura, right? And it never really planned out, and I'm glad it's working for them. And it's also really cool because they committed to Bo for a very long time, and things didn't exactly go as planned, and he couldn't play and this and that, and now he's there and he's doing great, and he's so fun to watch. Also, Perks in the team is fantastic as well. The fact that Kaiser is in that lineup is also cool. And on the other side, I also think like Mad Lions with Hilly and Karzi, I think this is something really interesting to watch. And a lot of people thought they would be like the most aggressive lane duo. They would die way too often, but they don't. They're actually playing a really measured game, so it's very cool to see.
There is only one spot left because Koi already made it to the group stage. Who do you feel will make it, Fnatic or Astralis?
Oh, you can never bet against Fnatic, right? So I think they're going to sneak by, but I don't know. This is crazy that we're even talking about it in this way because like top 8, Fnatic not making top 8, it's insane. Maybe, I don't know. I think they'll do it, but...
You've had an opportunity to host both CSGO and League of Legends tournaments. Do you see any differences within the players of these games?
The players? Ooh, that's interesting. I used to think whenever that I came to Counter-Strike events that the players would be like more flamboyant in interviews maybe, or they had like more rockstar vibes. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe that's also the nature of Counter-Strike. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do a study.
And what about communities?
The communities, well, maybe it's different for me because I don't spend as much time in the Counter-Strike community as I do in the League of Legends community. I think the Counter-Strike community definitely doesn't hold any punches and are very cutthroat about their teams, like extremely, extremely harsh. We don't have something like the HLTV forums. We have Reddit also, which I guess that sometimes gets a little spicy. But overall, though, they're very involved. I like being in the CS community. I'm really thankful that they accepted me, because that's not the easiest thing to do, I think, because I want to be really respectful of the teams and their stories. So it's been fun for me. Yeah.
Since I can remember, you were always in esports. I suppose, I suppose that you already realized a lot of plans, a lot of dreams. Do you have still something that you want to include in your career?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think about that all the time. But I think that I work so much and I'm like constantly working that it's very hard for me to think about tomorrow. I only think about today. But seeing how it's been 10 years now, and I feel like I have a good grasp, I hope, on what a production should kind of be like what is good for the viewers, what kind of content, which storytelling, but also how to give the talent the most opportunities to give their best work, because I'm talent myself, so I kind of know. Maybe I would want to go into production later on, maybe start a company of my own and create content. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know where I'd find the time, but I feel very lucky that I've been able to hit all my goals, specifically doing a CSGO major, and I got to do 2 last year. I think I got really lucky because I don't think I would be considered to do an event if it wasn't for the CSGO major being in Belgium, but I'm really proud of how hard I worked to make sure that I did a good job there, and yeah, that was a really big goal, was really high on my list.
And I also remember that we didn't really have that much females in esports. Now it's completely different. What do you think has changed all over these years?
Well, yeah, comparatively to when I started, especially like behind the scenes, there are so many women as well, which I think is very important. And I think a lot of people sometimes go, oh, well, there's only one woman on the broadcast, and I agree, there should be more. But in the control room, you know, like the audio engineers, the directors, the graphics operators, there's so many places that are occupied by women now, which is really, really great. I hope that there's been more opportunities given to women overall, and the visibility of myself and other icons in the scene have showed them that there's place for you here. There's a place for everyone here. And I hope it continues that way. And the last couple of years, I feel like we've really seen an uptick in, like, we don't take in, can I swear? We take less and less bullshit, you know, when it comes to sexism and everything, and people speak out about it more and more. Organizations take it much more seriously, and like public-facing campaigns and all of that, and that really helps. And I know that I try to do my part, and for instance, all the colleagues that I work with try to do their part as well. So yeah, upwards and onwards to the future. Yeah.
You've gained a lot of experience all over these years. Do you still, maybe sometimes at least, feel any pressure or any stress?
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you asked, because right now I'm super stressed. I don't know what's going on, but you know, when you're working on this really high tempo all the time, and everything you do is always, everyone's looking, right, and waiting for it. You know this as well. Everyone's waiting, like, it's going to make a mistake, say something wrong. And I feel like maybe I put too much on my plate from going to kind of, I had end of year events, then over Christmas, actually, right after Christmas, I was working as well. Then I went to the LEC, the pre-production, everything, 2 weeks of super weeks, and then I flew straight to Kato. I don't know, maybe I over-planned a little bit, because I'm having a little bit of trouble here, and oh, it makes me really sad. Like, if I'm not doing good at my work, or I think that I'm not doing good at my work, which hopefully to the outside is still, if I'm at 70%, hopefully that's still good for the people watching and I've not ruined their experience, it makes me feel really bad, and I get really stressed. But today is better. Today is good. I really take it to heart. Like yesterday, the end of the show, I wish it was better. I didn't do well. Like, I forgot to make it a big deal that Navi made it to the Spodek and stuff like that. And I get really angry at myself for stuff like that. But yeah, the show must go on. Life is life, yeah.
You're mostly known in the League of Legends community, but you started to work in other games. What made you decide to do it?
So basically, I started in FPS. I used to be an Unreal Tournament player, which I don't know if anyone knows that game, 1999 version, Game of the Year edition. So I always loved FPSs first. But in terms of my esports career, I rolled into League of Legends first, because that's the game that I picked up after university with my friends, and noticed that there was a community and that there were tournaments, etc. So I started writing about League, and that just happened. But I always had a love for FPS games as well, specifically. And I think Counter-Strike is just like such a good spectator esport. It's like incredible. And you can also put anyone in front of a Counter-Strike game and they'll get excited. You know, it's a little bit harder with League. If people don't know the game, you know, you got to do a lot of explaining for them to get it, right? But two great esports scenes in their own right. And when I went freelance in 2019, I really want to branch out because I feel like when you do the same thing for a very long time, and the Riot Games productions are really great. The LEC is really great, and not a lot goes wrong. And I wanted to make sure that I challenge myself and try different things because I feel like sometimes I could host the LEC with my eyes closed, you know, but then sometimes I feel like I know nothing. But I wanted to be challenged again and get thrown into a completely different production with a completely different game that I also loved, and see how I could do and see how I could pitch things and hopefully work together with the production team and make an imprint on another community as well. And it's just made me a better host, I think, being able to work in different games and different communities. That's why I wanted to do it, because, I don't know, you know, I want to keep moving. I don't want to be the same person for 10 years.
And especially on your Instagram account, we can see, I would say, an esports life of behind the scenes, yeah?
Yeah.
You already said that this job is really exhausting. What do you do to stay motivated?
Ooh, Paul, that's a good question. I try to, because like there's so much going on at events, you know, because you're doing the event, you're basically preparing. If you're not working, you're still preparing, because especially with A and B streams, you've always missed something. You're studying. I'm keeping an eye on the LEC as well because I'm going back there, so I have to cover that. I do all my own social media, like my vlogs and all that stuff, so I'm constantly doing that. Then you're talking to your analysts and production. So when I'm at home, I want to do nothing, and I feel bad for my friends sometimes, but they were lovely, and if I don't, sometimes I don't talk to them for like months, but it's just me, like nothing else, like phone off, reading a book, playing with my cat, and try to not do anything at all. I've started reading a lot more actually, because I find that's the only way to calm down, because then, you know, otherwise if you're on your phone doing something, you're still going to see the notification pop off and whatever, right? So, yeah. I think I have to go, by the way, because I need to cover this game.
So, last question. Do you want to say something maybe in Polish to the Polish people?
I don't know any except for bad words, I don't know any Polish. But dziękuję for all your support.
Maybe some olbyczku? Ojbyczku?
Ojbyczku?
Yeah.
What was that again?
It was like with the Pokemania, with Pokestar.
Yes,
Yeah. And he told you that. Yeah,
now.
okay.
But yeah, thank you for all your support. I'm really happy to be back here, and I'm happy to go to the Spodek and hopefully take pictures with all of you, because last time we were here, or I was here, was like Krakow, which is a long time ago. So I'll see you in the Spodek.
Thank you for the interview.
Dziękuję.